So here's the duplex under construction. The one on the right will be another writer's, scholar's studio, but this is the one we've modified into an artist studio. And on the left, you can see the finished modified duplex. That's what these will ultimately look like. So the sliding glass doors and these two 9-foot windows here are the northern indirect light. These two windows face virtually due north. So this space here, about 385 square feet, will be the studio proper. So here's the light from these 4 huge panes. So along this wall will be the utility sink and a number of workspaces. Here's the wall that will separate the bedroom for this unit from the studio proper. So if people are working with toxic materials, they'll have a separate air system for their sleeping. This will have other sort of rollaway work tables. We're taking a lot of pains to separate these two units so that they're kind of soundproof. So that's why most of the workspace of people like counters will be on that other wall. On this wall will be there'll be a sound barrier. You can see that we've built the wall, the 2x6s off the next wall, sort of to create another space for this to mitigate sound. And we're actually C-channeling the sheetrock. That's our fire riser right there. So this will be the front door. So the artist will enter here. Here will be a small kitchenette. You can see it's kind of painted on the floor. This will be a seated area right here, another counter on the floor. So they'll be able to sit here. Again, with the idea of having a separate airspace for this, which will ultimately be the bedroom, and this, which will be the bathroom. So we do have the funds, or we allegedly have the funds. We'll see what the tariffs do to we're about to roll contractors, the subs through here, so the electricians and the plumbers. We'll see if things go crazy like they did with COVID, but as of now, we have the funds to finish this. So you can see here what we're hoping to do with extra funds, or if there's such a phrase as extra funds. You can see we need to landscape this area. And that was part of what I was talking about before. This space here, which would be named for someone else, this is probably Gibbs unit. You can see we have a little kick out here, and this will be the workspace for this person. So they'll be looking up at the West Temple and over at the Eagle Crags. And again, this will be the kitchen area here on the floor, you can see, so that people won't be slicing and dicing against this shared wall. So that's the state of, and there's the Commons, the O.C. Tanner Commons. And let's take a quick look at the finished duplex. So I'm walking, we'll do a quick view up canyon. Now here we have the infrastructure in the ground for additional 3 units here around these rocks. And again, you can see we're still obviously mid-construction. So this is the existing residency where we've been hosting people. There's again, the same sliding glass doors. This is their view up the canyon. It's the kitchenette, induction oven, hot plate, microwave fridge. Here's the bedroom. And here's the bathroom. So that's me. So this is pretty much it. This is where we spend about, it's another story for another time that we had UNLV, University of Nevada, Las Vegas. We worked with their design to build architecture school for a couple of units that didn't quite turn out the way we hoped. And maybe more about that later, but they obviously needed some renovation, which we did. So here is how we intend to open, is with these 4 residencies, and one of them being an actual art studio. Again, because we thought it was better to open in form with an actual visual artist of some kind, instead of sort of working towards another $400,000 to open another an art studio, which will go right here on the other side of this hydrant. And just finally, in terms of recognition, we've got these wonderful rocks from the 1890 Wayne County High School. These were from Torrey. No, they were in Bicknell. And we were able to get this, one of our board members, Catherine Smith, donated them. So we're thinking that somehow we're going to incorporate these hand-cut historic blocks into some form of recognition pattern across, name recognition pattern across the property. So we haven't quite figured out what to do with them. We just knew we wanted them. Okay, thanks so much for your time.